Welcome back to the Morristown Market Report. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
Our special guest today is Sita Loop, and she is a local artist here in Morristown. So tell us a little bit about what kind of art you do and where we can look at it.
Well, I am a painter, and I've been heavily involved with the Rose Center since I've moved here 2.5 years ago. But I also have a website. It's myname.com. You can check that out.
You might want to spell that for people.
Oh, Sita is S as in Sam, I, T as in Tom, A. Sita Loop, L-O-O-P as in Paul.com. But also, at the end of the month, we have mountain makings. A lot of local people have already heard of this. They have people inside and outside. It's a huge tent art show. I recently had a solo show for 2 months at the Rose Center. But there's so many fabulous artists at mountain making. So come out and support everybody. I mean, it's just a wonderful couple of days at the end of the month, the last weekend. I think that's the 27th and 28th. And I've painted all my life. I specialize in my signature piece, or petroglyph ponies, from a dream that I had a really long time ago. But I do formal work. I'm self-taught in oils, acrylics, and watercolors. And I'm always painting something. So,
So do you paint like people? Do you paint just inanimate objects? Do you paint animals?
I can paint animals. I'm known for my animals too. I paint a lot of cows and I do barns, but I also do portrait work and of course the splashy watercolors with my petroglyph ponies. I paint whatever.
Okay.
And I do pet portraits too, which I love. I love animals so much. So
That's cool.
yeah, something I do.
All right. So is that the only job that you have, or do you have something else that you do?
Well, one other thing, I'm passionate about the company that has afforded me the opportunity to do my art, and that is partnered with the #1 wellness company in North America. We have safer, healthier, eco-friendly products for 38 years. There's actually a distribution center in Knoxville, so we're proud of this company because when it came to me, not only can you be a customer, but when you share with people, it's a great profit-sharing company. You know, we're competing with the big box stores like Walmart and other places like that, but they're using companies like Procter & Gamble and Colgate and some of these other companies that have been in trouble, especially in recent times, for all their toxins. There's so many toxins in products. Our company, again, has eco-friendly, they're plant-based, plant-derived. We have over 60 scientists on board, and they make these clean, healthy products that come to your door every month. So we take out the middlemen, we don't advertise, we talk to people, you know, directly and share information. And again, we can keep the cost down because we're not selling water. You know, Windex is 94% water, so we have concentrated products. You add your own water, the cost savings is there. In most cases, we cost less than the toxic products. So I'm passionate about this, passionate about people having healthier, safer homes, healthier products. We have over 400 products, so it's just really amazing company. And again, with their profit sharing, they've already paid out $6.8 billion to people that share this company in 38 years. So they're AAA rated with the Better Business Bureau, and I'm just really proud of them. So I'm proud to be a part of that, and you know, it's important. It's important these days to get chemicals out of your home and have a safer, healthier choice available to you.
What's some of the items that you all sell? I mean, is it just household cleaning supplies, or?
We have 8 shopping alleys, so it's cleaning, it's all your dental, we have Band-Aids. I mean, we have a medicine aisle,
Okay.
we have a coffee that's fair trade around the globe, organic as well. We have a fabulous skincare and makeup line. It's just about everything you think of, and we even have a marketplace for the products that we don't manufacture direct, but they are fresh because all the manufacturing companies are here in the United States, so it's all made in the USA. It's made to order, and that freshness you can't find in any store. That doesn't exist. So
Okay. And you mentioned before we started video, and just recently added the beef.
Beef, yes. So we have Riverbend Ranch. You can look that up online. He built the executive CEO of the company built the processing plant on his 300,000 acres, and there's never hormones or antibiotics in any of the beef. And again, that's shipped either monthly or every other month to your home, and it's the cleanest beef out there. You know, you can get ribeyes that are, the marbling's amazing. The meat melts in your mouth, so it's really fabulous. But yes, that's another option too. So it's fabulous.
Good deal.
Awesome.
All right. So is there anything else about either your painting business or?
Well, I hope to see you at Mountain Aikens. Find me on my website. Come talk to me at Mountain Aikens. I'd love to talk to you about our profit sharing wellness company as well. And of course, Remax are fabulous realtors, and maybe you'll find a home too.
So what's your phone number if somebody wants to call you to get more information?
All right, it's a Santa Fe, New Mexico area code. It's 505-670-0114. If I don't answer, please leave a message. Thank you.
All right. So we didn't tell you about this, but we have one question that we ask everybody at the end of this. And that is, if you could go back in time and give your 20-year-old self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Listen to your parents.
Well, that's a first. That is a first. But that is very good advice because we don't realize how smart they are until we get a little older.
They know so much, but don't regret your life. Live your life, but be a little smarter. Think a little more in your 20s. Ask for older people's opinions.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure having you here.
It's been a
getting to learn
pleasure
about your
talking to
business.
both of you.
If you want to make your exit, we're going to talk about real estate and mortgages now.
Thank you, Sita.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's a little warm in here.
Yeah.
Just letting y'all know. So if you see me fanning, you know why. All right, Kim, what can you tell me about mortgage rates this week?
I can tell you this week they've moved up a little bit more. You know, as we always make fun of the experts, you know, the experts thought last week we were at, you know, the high end, and they've come up a little bit more. So we're pushing on some loans up around 8%, upper 7s, 8%.
Okay.
The conventional loans did raise. They have a conforming loan limit. It means that's only a certain amount you can borrow up to. They did raise it up to $750,000, and it was $726,000. So, because anything over that before would have been considered a jumbo loan, which is a whole other story, and higher rates and all that. So,
and most of our houses here would have fallen under the previous guideline
easily
anyway.
fall under this, yeah. So the 726 went to 750. I know you had mentioned last week, and we did talk about, you know, the conventional products is trying to come about where you can just get 1 year tax return for self-employed borrowers versus 2. So hopefully there's a few little things happening that maybe is trying to help with the market and the way it is. But
and I'm not being rude. I've saved something to my phone that I want to share.
Okay.
I just have to find it now. You know how that goes.
I think still dealing with affordability. You know, I think that's the biggest issue that I see personally with people being pre-qualified and finding homes in the price range that they're pre-qualified for. So.
Right. Yeah, so, you know, Facebook memories is kind of a cool thing. Sometimes it's really cool to look back. Sometimes you're like, I never thought that showing up.
We got videos out there, I've seen.
Yeah. So I had posted a September market update on my Facebook page, and this is for September of 2015.
Wow.
So 8 years ago. All right. So 8 years ago, we had 70 homes that sold in Hamlin County. We had an average time on the market of 135 days. And the average sales price in September of 2015, was $123,702. That was for Hamlin County, September 2015. And, you know, that just blows my mind when I look back at that number, and it's like, are you kidding me right now? So just to give you some context for that data, for September of 2023, we sold 48 homes. So obviously that number is down because we don't have enough inventory. The average days on the market last month was 40. The average home sold price was $311,269. That is 151% increase over September of 2015.
Wow.
Now, that is 1 month snapshot, okay, that we're comparing to. And normally what I like to do is look at a year-over-year comparison. You know, like what all was the average sales price in 2015 versus what it's going to be, you know, now in 2023, because I think that gives you a more accurate picture. Because I know in 2012, the average sales price was like 135,000. So, you know, every month it's going to fluctuate depending on what the home sales were and what the price ranges on those were. But I just thought that was very interesting to look at, you know, what the average time on the market was then versus now. Because, you know, people see homes on the market now for 2 weeks and they're like, well, what's wrong with that house? Why isn't it sold yet? Man, I mean, used to, everybody had 6-month listing agreements on a house because most of them it was going to take 6 months to sell. And if you had a higher priced home, which at that time was $300,000 or more, you know, you might go for a 1-year listing agreement because those homes were sitting on the market a lot longer. So it's just funny to look back at how much things have changed in just 8 years' time. So,
Big
kind of
change,
interesting.
yeah. And I knew that change was there, but to see it, you know, I mean,
Oh yeah,
see the
I mean,
exact
you have that
numbers.
pop up in your memories, and you're like, "Holy cow!"
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
and one thing I can tell you is, you know, when you're looking to buy a house right now, a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines because of these rates, and they're like, you know, I would never pay 8% on a mortgage. When I got into mortgages back in like 2001, I think. You know, we were refinancing people at 8.5%, 9%, and they were saving money because they were in double-digit interest rates. And I get, like you said, the home prices have increased a lot. But if you can get pre-approved for a mortgage and you can find the right house, and you can afford that monthly payment, you're much better off buying the house now because you've got a lot less competition from other buyers. And if you wait on rates to come down, which is what I hear all the time, we're just going to wait on the rates to come down. Home prices are appreciating. So you're going to end up paying more for that house than if you bought it now. And yeah, you're going to get an 8% rate. If you can afford the payment, then you just pay on it. And then in a year's time, when interest rates come down, you're going to have equity already built in your house, and you're going to be able to refinance and lower your monthly payments. So, you know, if you find the right house in the right location at the right price, don't let interest rates hold you back because, you know, there is no magic ball to tell us when or if interest rates are ever going to come back down. So that would be my advice of the day, I guess.
Well, another thing, you know, it's like if you have a payment to make, you're going to make that payment, you know. So if you buy that home now and you make that payment, you're building equity in that property and you're paying the loan balance down. Whereas if you say, well, I'm going to wait till rates come down and I'm going to save. I don't know about you, but sometimes
nobody ever saves.
Sometimes saving is hard, you know. I make my payments, but to say I'm going to save this amount of money is just harder to do. So that's another good idea to go ahead and buy now versus later.
Well, and at least if you're making that mortgage payment, like you said, and you're building the equity in the home, you know, let's say you don't go buy a house right now because interest rates are high. So you continue paying $1,200 a month rent. You're not building equity in anything.
No.
You know, you're just throwing that $1,200 away. And I know you and I have talked about car payments. You know, and people want to say, well, I can't afford to buy a house right now because the interest rates are 8%. But you went out and paid $9,000 to get a brand new car, and so now your car payment's $700 or $800 a month. You know, I get wanting to drive a brand new vehicle, but I think I'd want to buy a house and have a roof over my head that I own before I go out and spend that kind of money to drive the latest car. My dad and I don't agree on a whole lot of things, but one thing he did teach me was that a car is a way to get you from point A to point B. And you don't need to worry about how fancy it is or what kind of bells and whistles it has. And that is one thing that I actually listened to my daddy. And I have never owned a new car in my life. I think the newest vehicle I've ever owned was a year old when I bought it, and I got a heck of a deal on it. So, you know, you'll see a lot of agents out here driving BMWs, Mercedes, Lexus, Chryslers. You know, I'm driving a Honda Pilot that's like 10 years old, and I love it. So, you know, it's just all in your perception and what you really want. So you have to set those goals and then be willing to stick with what it takes to get to buy a house right now. It is a little bit of a challenge today, more so than it was 4 years ago.
Well, and as I've always said, you know, cars depreciate, and a house will appreciate. So, you know, I'd much rather put my money into something that's going to be worth more than something that's not going to be worth more by the time I get it paid for. You know.
And most people never get it paid for.
Right.
They pay on them for 2 or 3 years. They get bored. They want something new. They're underwater. So that car payment just keeps growing and growing and growing. So
Yes.
that was our little sermon for the day. Sorry about that.
Listen to your parents, right?
Yeah, listen to your parents. Listen to your elders, because we're here to tell you. But anyway, so do we have any financial news that's going to be coming out in the next week or so that
Just,
you know of?
you know, we brought up before, you know, we do offer construction loans. We actually have a USDA construction loan, which means you can build a house with no down payment. You're qualifying. So those are options too. I think some people may begin to look at more versus, you know, when there's the inventory's low, you know, we can do those as on double wide.
And I'm going to tell you, it's unheard of to be able to get a construction loan with 0 down.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're having a hard time finding something right now,
Mm-hmm.
and you can qualify for a USDA loan, that's probably a very good route to look at.
Definitely.
Do y'all have like a list of approved builders that you can give to people, or?
We do, you know, if you have a builder, we do get financials from them as part of the approval process. We don't like to recommend, in case I recommend somebody and then they have a bad experience. So,
I get that.
We kind of let the builders, you know, you find your builder and we'll work with them as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there any kind of like square footage requirements that they would have to build, or?
No, I mean, very small, like 600 square foot, so it's got to be very small, but yeah, anybody's going to build more than that. So.
Well, I'm just thinking, I mean, affordability wise right now, if you could do a 0% construction loan,
Mm-hmm.
you find a half acre to an acre out in the county, because it's got to be in a USDA rural eligible area.
Mm-hmm.
You know, more than likely if it's out in the county and it's not in a subdivision, it's not going to have square footage requirements.
Right, exactly.
So you could build a 750 square foot home to help keep your costs down again. I mean, if you're single,
oh yeah,
I'm thinking that's probably going to be a lot cheaper than your rent.
yeah, definitely.
So, good deal. All right, now would that apply to a new manufactured home? Do they
Yes.
consider that as a construction as well?
We do as well, yes.
Okay, so if you're out looking at Clayton's and you find you a manufactured home, brand new, that you want to buy, that can fall under the construction loan, because you're having to buy the house, put it on the land, get all that prepped and set up. So again, that's an affordable option, because obviously manufactured homes are cheaper than site built right now.
Yes.
So that's a couple of good options for people, I think.
Definitely is, definitely is.
All right, we may have talked more about those in another episode.
There you go.
All right, if you have a local business that you would like to have promoted on our Facebook Live, please send me a DM or leave a comment below. I'll have somebody get in touch with you and get you on our schedule. We are still going to be doing this in 2024. I don't know if Kim's agreed to that yet or not, but she just found out.
Sure.
So we will be booking into 2024 as well. So if you're interested, we'd love to have you on here, get to know you, get to know your business, and maybe help you out a little bit. So the whole purpose of us doing this is to help people that own a small business get some recognition. You know, advertising is hard for a small business because they really don't know how to do it. They may not have the budget to do it. So, you know, we're here to help you out. If you own a restaurant, a food truck, pretty much any kind of small business, office supply, furniture store, whatever, we'd love to have you on here and learn a little bit more about your business and where you're located here in the Lakeway area. So, again, I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.